What a crowd. What a crowd. People are logging in like mad. Brought to you by Pellegrino. California. All right, let me get in character. Well, good evening, everyone. As you know, we've been following the election coverage locally over the last several days. I had to take it to video from online, Facebook, and typing because so much gets lost in translation. It's hard for people to gauge, like people that don't know me. If you don't know me, it's hard to gauge my my sarcasm and when I try to make a joke. If you don't know me, I mean, it probably looks terrible. But those that know me, they ought to spread the word that what we're doing here is try to make more transparent government at the local level. We've had a lot of issues lately with our school board, and we're looking to nip that in the bud. We're looking to win tonight for 4 candidates, 5 if you count South Toms River, and we're looking to really move in a positive direction. So thanks for tuning in. I imagine there'll be a lot of people tuning in. I'll probably be repeating myself quite a bit. And it's a big night, in New Jersey for Congress, for Senate. I can care less about the rest of the races, not even in Beechwood here where we live. I live in Beechwood, so those of you that know, we have 2 people running for council. They're running against 2 people that are invisible because they're not running against anybody. That's how much apathy there is in local government, that people just don't even care. It's like, okay, my taxes are going up. That's fine. We'll just keep the people in there. Not that the people in Beechwood are doing bad, but I mean, you should have somebody to run against. I mean, you have a town of a sizable town, you should have somebody to run against. I don't care if it's the same party in a primary. I mean, it just says a lot about apathy at the local level. Just real quick, anything that gets said here is not a direct reflection upon the Board of Education. This is my private own video podcast and my own Facebook page. So, this is not endorsed or sponsored by the Toms River Board of Education or my family. So the opinions expressed are my own, not my wife, not my kids, not my family. So this is just our thing here. Sponsors. The sponsor for tonight's podcast is my buddy Brent Ludlow. Served in the military with him. He has an awesome product out there called Brent's Beard Balm, the official beard balm of Team Leonard. That's right. We have an official beard balm at Team Leonard. So Brent, I don't know if you're watching. If you are, plug your link down there somewhere. I didn't put it on tonight's blog. It's on last night's. We're just waiting while some more people join. Don't be scared with the flag behind me, by the way. It looks a little like ISIS. I feel like I'm like an ISIS guy. Nobody's going to get their heads cut off tonight. It's the Punisher flag, the Team Leonard flag, because it's American flag. Punisher's black and white. So we appreciate you tuning in. Don't be scared with the flag. So I got the results going on the TV over there. I got the Ocean County General Election Clerk's Office official results next to me on another computer. It's a real NASA operation we got going over here. If anybody has any questions, I'm watching the feed. So if you have questions, just type them in. I'll answer them. Anything with New Jersey government or politics or government, or especially here in Ocean County with the school board election, that's the main reason that I'm here tonight. What's up, Joe? What's up, Todd? See a lot of people that I served with in the military that I haven't seen in a while popping in. That's pretty cool. It's funny, it's how much things have changed, in the last several years. I mean, this is anybody could have a TV show. I don't have any ratings. I don't have any money, but we're going to have some fun, right? So just looking at the TV, nothing's coming in. It's 7. What time is it here? 7:59 Eastern Standard Time. New Jersey is going to be closing up here in about a minute. What's up, Erica? What's up, Matt? So New Jersey is going to be closing up in a minute here, and we're going to see what's going on. I hope you like my show, because let me tell you something. Last year, when I switched from Republican to independent, all the people that I thought were my friends for 15 years, they're too scared to have free thinking thoughts for themselves. So they stayed with the party, and they don't want anything to do with any drama. So they can't have any other opinion besides what the people tell them to think. So we're going to be talking about that, Tracy. It's a very delicate thing we got going on. If he gets elected, will they file charges against him? What would happen? Probably not what you think, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, it's pretty good being retired, Rich. You don't have to think anymore. So, all right, the polls are closed in Jersey, so any minute now we're going to start getting some results in. Probably in about 15 minutes we'll know something. Give me a second. I just want to get this up. Really, all I care about is the Toms River Board of Education tonight. Hi, Larry. All right, so it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to read this statement. Some of you have already seen it on the Toms River, about the Toms River Board of Education. You've already seen it on my social media. I'm going to read it here. So bear with me. All right, my name is Daniel Leonard. I'm currently a member of the Toms River Regional Schools Board of Education. Today, I'm coming at you as a parent, a taxpayer, a registered independent who was fed up with the local partisan political machine, looking to gain control and influence over what is supposed to be a nonpartisan and child-centric entity, your school board. I'm also a retired United States paratrooper and combat veteran of the war in Afghanistan. I once took an oath to protect and uphold and defend democratic processes, which for me didn't simply end once I took off the uniform. I retired April of this year. Now, as an elected official on the Toms River Board of Education, I take my civic duties in upholding the public trust very seriously. As election day is here, I feel it's my responsibility as an open and transparent representative of the people to bring to your attention a matter that I feel concerns all of us. I believe that our school board needs to move in a positive direction, a direction that moves us far away from a candidate that's on the ballot for this evening's election in the Toms River Board of Education, Christopher Raymond, who's currently seeking re-election, and we'll see what happens with him in a few minutes. All right, for the past several weeks, I've tried to really bring the facts out about what's going on with him and his behavior over the last several years on the Board of Education. We'll see what happens. I'm one person. I take no pleasure in this approach, okay? But I'm sure you can agree there's just way too much negativity in politics. But I don't look at myself as a politician. I look at myself as a leader. While I do not believe in tasteless mudslinging, I do look at certain things, and I have to say that I believe in providing every citizen with the facts and evidence that they deserve in order to make an intelligent and informed decision and choice as to which candidate they'll support today. After serving alongside Mr. Raymond for the past 2 years, I can tell you from personal experience that he is anything but truthful. He's extremely divisive. He's very manipulative. And his primary motivation, in my opinion, is not the overall welfare of this district. It has become evident to me that Mr. Raymond, his only loyalty is to his political handlers that fund his campaign, and the decisions that he makes as a board member have solely been influenced by these people, his supporters and donors of the Toms River GOP Republican Party. Our current Board of Education is comprised of Republicans, Democrats, and myself, the lone independent on the board. I can honestly tell you that in my 42 years, I have never seen a team as ideologically diverse as ours work together in such a unified and nonpartisan manner, so that our teachers, our administrators, all right, our transportation department, our paraprofessionals, our buildings and grounds and janitorial staff, and most importantly, our students can continue to receive the support that they deserve, especially now with state aid cuts looming in the amount of $70 million over the next 5 or 6 years, it is vital that our board and our administration remain unified with the ability to trust one another. We must move forward as a cohesive team. Let me take a drink. I'm getting dry. All right. This letter is unlike any other campaign message that you'll receive this entire election cycle. For one, I'm not a candidate on the ballot. Okay. I'm also not writing to you or reading to you to endorse any particular candidate in the upcoming race. However, I do want you to be aware of some concerning facts pertaining to Mr. Raymond, and after you are made aware of his record, allow you, the voter, to decide if you think he should continue to serve, which we're going to find out very shortly. Especially that he does not possess the character, maturity, or integrity that someone in his position should. With the oversight of a $500 million budget and 16,000 students, I've highlighted several points that I'm going to read to you in a minute. As an elected representative of the people, I'm also including my email and telephone number should you wish to ask me any clarifying questions. All right. It's Team Leonard NJ, teamleonardnj@gmail.com. Okay. And my office line is 732-930-5135. If you ever have any questions pertaining to the candidacy of anyone, especially Mr. Raymond, give me a call. Ask me any questions. I'll answer honestly, within reason. Certain things I can't discuss or divulge because legally I'm not allowed to as an elected representative and a member of the Board of Education. I can only talk about things that are public knowledge until they become public, and then it's open season. So thank you for letting me read that. In a second, I'm going to get into this material here that some of you have probably seen about Mr. Raymond, and kind of break it down. Anyway, thank you. I just want to say again, thanks for joining tonight on my podcast here, and we're gonna break it down. I don't know if you saw the last couple of days that I've had them up. The reason I'm doing this is because when I type on Facebook or any social media platform, I can't really elaborate or, it's hard to go back and forth without seeing, the mood or the tone of the conversation. Things get lost in translation. It's a real pain in the ass. So this is why we're doing it this way from now on. Let me just look at the TV real quick, see if I can see any updates. So the polls are closing. It takes a while for things to come in. The results will start coming in shortly. Again, I didn't officially endorse anyone. I did support people, but my main endorsement was anyone but Raymond, who's gonna be it's gonna be a continued nightmare with him on the board if he's elected again tonight. Oh, by the way, he's running a nonpartisan independent campaign, but the Republicans in Toms River, for a nonpartisan unpaid school board position, raised over $30,000 for him, $30,000. And he's so independent and nonpartisan that right now he's over at the Days Hotel in Toms River with the Republican GOP victory party, patting each other on the back and talking about, all their little club stuff that they like to talk about. Not independent, definitely bought, definitely paid for. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that I want to bring up about him real quick, and then we'll get into the regular election stuff. Mr. Raymond has misled the voters by disseminating false information and has admitted publicly that unidentified parties control his campaign. Okay. He stated that he was not responsible for his campaign literature. So pretty much what I understand is that the Republican club got Mr. Roderick to go on and through his fake news sites that he has. There's probably like several of them, but I think this one was the Toms River Chronicle. Went on there and put all kinds of negative and lies about the other candidates. But then when he was questioned on it, he said that he's not responsible. He didn't know what was going on there. So he's not in charge of his own campaign, and there's lies that are on his campaign material. His 2018 campaign literature highlighted plans for breaking current labor contracts with the district employees. Okay, I was at a Board of Education meeting. His campaign literature talks about cutting administrator pay. Our district administrators have a big job to do. They have contracts. You can't just break their contracts and take back their money, Mr. Raymond. Okay, that's pretty much what you were saying, and everybody heard it and everybody read it. So what that does is that causes a breach of contract. If we got to fight, that's more litigation and legal costs for the district that we cannot afford. So this guy, I mean, right off the bat. There's two lies, two things, total mismanagement, doesn't know what he's talking about. He claims to be an independent candidate on public matters, but he is a paid member of the Toms River Republican Club and has left obligatory Toms River board meetings to attend partisan Republican events. He did that in September. He left the committee meeting that we had at 11:44, and then a half hour later, he's over there with his running mate giving a candidate speech. So he left mandatory board meetings to go and campaign. His biggest supporter for re-election and benefactor is currently under investigation by the FBI and IRS. That's Mr. George Gilmore, who we know has not paid his fair share in IRS back IRS payments, and has liens put on stuff. That's his main guy. So think about that Republican club, GOP people in Ocean County. Is that really the person that you want leading your organization? A guy that's that corrupt on the public, where he's been in all the papers and all the media. He has no credibility to your organization. He's been around way too long. He's still scaring people into doing certain things that they don't want to do because they're not going to get support next time. Stand up to the guy, all right? It's not that hard. A couple people get together, get a new chairman in there that's reputable and credible, and take care of business, Ocean County Republicans. All right, so anyway, he's publicly attacked his opponents for voting for increased taxes, but hypocritically failed to mention that he has voted for the school budget for the past 3 years. He's saying that his opponents, Mr. Iafredi and Mr. Nardini, raised taxes and he voted against that. That's not true. It was a lie. I posted it on the Team Leonard page. He voted for the past 3 years for the budget, which increases taxes for the district. So total lie. Guy, he's just trying to get elected. He's saying whatever he can. A lot of people out there are listening to him. It's pretty sad that nobody even researches the facts. They don't care if he's a liar, some of them. I've talked to him today. He refuses to speak on any topic, canceled town halls, and will not answer any public questions. We've seen that at our board meetings. Doesn't really answer any questions. He canceled town hall meetings that he was supposed to have online. He didn't show up to a town hall meeting that candidates Iafredi and Cirillo held at the Ocean County Library that I also attended. So he's scared to answer questions because he knows he doesn't have the answers. He's not a law enforcement officer. I know, everything you said. He works for the sheriff's department. No, he doesn't. He works for the sheriff's office as a supervisor, I believe, in the communications division. But he tells people, he's told me when I first met him that he was a sheriff. He was a sergeant in the sheriff's department. Lies. He has failed to disclose obvious conflicts of interest on state-mandated financial disclosure forms, as cited by a former board member. It was in the paper last week, the Asbury Park Press, where Mr. Iafredi called him out for not letting the public know that his wife works for a third-party contract under RWJ Barnabas, where it's something, regardless, it's not a crime that she works there. But when you're an elected official, you need to disclose these things on the proper forms that go up to the state, and it wasn't done. It just simply wasn't done. He doesn't think he has to do it. He's above that. As of the 30th of October, he didn't file his legally required ELEC report, which is the Election Law Enforcement Commission report, where you get your donations from, because he doesn't want the public to know where his campaign funds are coming from. So what people try to do when they're trying to skirt the system is they wait till the last possible minute to release this information. So he's running an independent, nonpartisan campaign. The whole time he's like, I'm independent. Nobody's telling me what to do. What do you know? Between the time I printed this piece of paper right here and today, it turns out that he's raised over $20-something thousand from Republican organizations, and also from the New Jersey Education Association. Ton of money went into his campaign, probably around $30,000, robocalls, flyers. So it's for a nonpartisan, unpaid position. Who the hell is raising $30,000? And what are you getting on the back end once you get in there for that support? Ridiculous. Another lie that he's told over and over and over again that really says a lot about him. He did vote in support of the current superintendent's contractually obligated merit goals and then publicly criticized fellow board members and voted no once the goals were achieved. He welched. He said, yes, I agree with these goals. If the superintendent meets these goals, he'll get his merit goal payment. And once he achieved the goals, Mr. Raymond said, nope, I'm not voting to pay you. That says a lot about somebody's character and integrity right there. Okay. I mean, if the majority of the board did something like that, and then Mr. Hilly didn't get paid for what was in his contract, That's a breach of contract. This district, again, can get sued for millions of dollars that we do not have by the actions of individuals acting on third-party interest. I mean, you can't do a breach of contract. We're going to get sued. And he was told to do that. I know for a fact he was, because other people that were in the Republican screening committee that were that were running for the Board of Education, they were admonished by Gilmore, because why did you vote for the superintendent's contract? Well, because it was in his contract. We had to pay him. Gilmore says, no, you didn't. You didn't have to pay him. This is a lawyer, by the way, but you know about his ethics. So we need to stop with having people make decisions based on third-party influence, which are going to get us sued. And that's why I railed against his campaign as much as I could over the past several months, because we need somebody on this board that's mature, that's going to do the right thing for everybody involved, the teachers, the students, the taxpayers, all the staff. Everybody has an interest in the district, the parents, and it's not him. All right, it's not Chris Raymond. So I am hoping he doesn't get reelected tonight. We would like to see one of the other 4 candidates that I supported, Joe Nardini, Danielle Liebright, Erica Cirillo, and Rob Onifrietti, all have a lot to bring to this district. They're game changers. They all have, something that can add benefit for everybody involved. And that is not Mr. Raymond. So if you're looking for a candidate that's going to be on the strings, the puppet strings, that's Mr. Raymond. Go ahead and elect him. I don't know what's going to happen tonight if you do. It's 3 more years of unethical behavior and lies and untrustworthiness behind the scenes, where we can't even speak because we're scared it's going to get out to somebody. And you understand, executive boards, the reason we meet in private is because we're talking about legal issues. We're talking about administrative issues. We're talking about things that aren't supposed to get out in the public because people's privacy and confidentiality are at stake. And when that stuff leaks, it really can put the district in a position where that $10,000 that Mr. Healy got that people are crying about can easily be $10 million that we're getting a lawsuit for. So you have to know what you're doing. I'm telling you, he's a bad guy. He's a bad dude. We don't need him. We need to move on. All right, and that's why I've been railing so hard against Mr. Raymond for the past several months. The other candidates, they ran extremely impressive, clean campaigns. No disparaging comments, and they did the right thing. They did what they had to do, but they didn't get the money that Raymond got from the Republican Party. And if Mr. Raymond was a Democrat and he was getting the money from the Democrat Party, I'd be just as angry and I'd be hammering him just as much as I am now, because this is supposed to be a nonpartisan, child-centric board, and it's not. And I'm here to tell you it's not. Tell your friends, tell your taxpayers. They need to pay more attention. Nobody cares about Trump. He's not going to do anything about your property taxes. He's not affecting the quality of life in Toms River. Stop watching the news and get involved with what's going on. Come to a board meeting. Come to a town council meeting. I mean, this is ridiculous. I had to leave my party because of the nonsense. I'm a Republican. I'm always going to lean right, but I'm not a group thinker. I'm not a group thinker. I'm an individual. All right. I'm a free thinking individual, and I'm not going to be part of somebody's party. Just they're told what to do, and I've seen it, and I'm like, wow. I mean, and they're told what to do by people that are highly unqualified or unethical. These aren't people with doctorate degrees and people that have led people in combat. These are people that are just moving up the chain. They have money. They're lawyers. They're accountants. They're all these things, and they form their little clique at the top, and they keep their circle small, and everybody else just they're told what to do, and that's on them. I chose not to do that, and a lot of people came with me. I am an independent, and I'm going to continue to be an independent. I want to bring people from all sides to the middle. In Ocean County, I mean, I got to concentrate on the county and in Toms River District. I can't be thinking outside of that right now. I want to bring Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Green Party people, whatever other parties there are where the people are unhappy and they can't get a large enough following. Come to the Team Leonard independent movement and let's do something together. Let's show them that all that stuff doesn't matter at the local level. All politics is local. And I'm fed up. And I hope a lot of you are fed up, and we need to work together and make this happen. And because of what I did over the past year, upsetting the apple cart in the chairman of the GOP, I'm not going to get the support that I got in 2016 or 2013 anymore. All right, I went out on my own. That money that Raymond got this year, that'll never happen, and I'll never get that. So, and I'm up for election again next year. And what I'm asking right now is if you're into the movement and you want to make things better in Ocean County, and especially right now with the school district, now's the time. And we need to start raising some money, okay? And we need to start putting it to good use. We can have a board which dictates how that money's spent. Initially, what I wanted to do is I had campaign money that was left over from my 2016 campaign, a few thousand. And over the past 2 years, rather than hold on to that money because I was running for re-election and blah, 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 I donated all that money, most of that money. I donated to 501c3s and charitable organizations, and I filed my ELEC reports every 3 months. I didn't hold on to it. I gave it away to the people that need it. And I had some money left. I had about $300 or $400 left coming into this October. And I saw what was going on, Mr. Raymond. I said, you know what? I need to help Rob Aniferetti and Joe Nardini and their teams out. I said, so I paid for a lot of ads to go out to inform people because that's what needed to get done. And I'm going to have to start raising money again for next year's campaign. So I'm hoping that if you're watching this tonight and if you know people that can help out, I'm really going to need that. And we'll talk about that later. That's not what tonight's about specifically, but let me give you my address though real quick. It's Committee to Elect Daniel Leonard, Team Leonard, P.O. Box 314, Beechwood, New Jersey, 08722. That's P.O. Box 314, Beechwood, New Jersey, 08722. We'll worry about that later, okay? But let's keep on focus here. Let's see what's going on with the election. That Florida thing between Gillum and what's his name? That's very close. I can barely see the TV. I'm getting older. Let me refresh my county screen here, see if anything's going on in Ocean County. What's up, Jim? Good seeing you, pal. What school did you go to? Was it ANOC or Small Arms Master Gunner? I can't remember. Give me a second. I'm having a technical difficulty. This is why, like, if you ever listen to the Howard Stern show or anything like that, it's great because he has Fred doing all his engineering stuff and his sound effects and all that stuff. He's got Robin to bounce things off of. My wife's mad at me now. I need to call tech support. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it again. The reason that we're doing this from now on is because I'm trying to keep up here. The reason that we're doing this is because when I do my Facebook stuff, my social media, I know a lot of people know what's going on. They know how I am. But sometimes people see it and they're like, who's this guy? And they don't know my style and they don't know how we interact with each other. So sometimes things get lost in translation and I need to be able to explain myself more. So we need to have back and forth dialogue, and that's why I like the comment feed here, so we can do that. This is an election night thing, so it's a rare thing, but going forward, we're going to do this probably weekly, and I'm going to have a whole program and things to talk about, whatever's in the paper of the week and things. It's going to be concentrated on local issues. Even when I listen to Topic A on WOBM on Sunday mornings, which I love, they got a great 4-hour show. And Jeremy Grunin's a great host, and I love it, and they do a great job. But it's the same people call every week, and they talk about things that don't affect them here. I think back when I was younger, I remember listening to Bob Levy, and things were always Ocean County related or somewhere local. It's gotten out of control now, where people are calling in Ocean County crying about things that are never going to affect them. National politics, it's like it's fine. It's almost like it's a hobby now, national politics. But these are the things that are going to affect you here, and that's what we're going to talk about going forward. So let me just see there's no updates on the Ocean County clerk's website. So I'm looking at that. TV, nothing in New Jersey. So still waiting to hear about South Toms River. I got that one up too. So we have, right now I'm watching 4 races on our county. Our county clerk has a great site where you can hit the favorites to all the races and you can watch them all on one page. So I'm watching Toms River, South Toms River, where something's going on. They just refreshed. South Toms River. Holy Jesus. Hugin's winning big. Oh my God, Seth Grossman's winning big. Tom MacArthur's winning. How'd that happen? I'm sorry, I'm trying to find this. Oh! Oh! So right now I'm looking at the school board election. Anna won. Anna Palazzo won the Toms River Regional School Board seat. I'm happy to say in South Toms River. There were 3 of 3 districts reporting. Anna Palazzo beat Gigi Esparza 58-41. So Gigi, thank you for your service on the board. Anna, congratulations. Toms River, I'm looking right now. Districts reporting 1 of 63, but right now the first district that reported went to Raymond and Howe. But there's 63 to report, but we'll see what happens there. And a 1. So there's a win. Again, what I talked about earlier is that I wanted to help out both campaigns against the Raymond campaign. Okay, so what I did is I took the role of bad guy, and I gave Raymond everything that he deserved, and I let them run clean campaigns, and they did. And Anna as well, clean campaign. Everybody's to be commended and respected for what they did. It's hard when you're running a campaign, much less a nonpartisan campaign, where people are funneling money like you wouldn't believe. $30,000 for a non-paid, nonpartisan Board of Education seat. What else is going on? All right, so MacArthur and Hugin won in Ocean County. I don't think that was in any debate. I was talking to my wife earlier. She said that in Colorado, there's a district out there that went to a 4-day school week. 4-day school week in Colorado. I don't know how that's going to work, but I guess we'll look at that. That sounds interesting. Anybody have any questions? With all the facts out there, I got to say shame on anybody who voted for Chris Raymond. Something I wanted to bring up too. Myself and Mr. Onifredi had an issue last summer. We didn't see eye to eye on some things, and there was a lot of reasons for that. And I discussed it on an earlier podcast, how we were being misled by somebody. But after we got to talking and we settled things and we got back to working for the district and everything was fine. Some people like to criticize that. They're like, "Oh, you guys were enemies last year. You like each other." Yeah, that's the way it is. That's life. That's politics. What are we going to hold a grudge to the end of time over nothing? But no, I took a course at Stockton when I got my bachelor's in political science. I think it was comparative politics. And pretty much what they said is like, over the long term, politics is like a game of pool balls on a table. And every once in a while, somebody breaks and all the allegiances and alliances move around the table until the next one. They just keep moving around. That's pretty much how it is. So politics is and again, I don't consider myself a politician. I consider myself a leader, and I'm going to continue to be. But you have to work with the people you're elected to work with. Mr. Raymond, he's just a miserable guy. He just sits there and he doesn't get along with anybody and makes things difficult. I disagree with Mr. Healy. I disagree with other board members quite often. And and we have our arguments, and then we get through it, and then we keep working for the betterment of the district. I mean, they some people want you to just be, they want to create havoc. It benefits their third party people. The Republicans want to put their professional service contract people in, so they want to flip the board and try to do that. And so do the Democrats. They've done it before too. My job is to sit there and make sure that things are run fairly and equitably for the district and the taxpayer. Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to be a guy with a computer. All right, it's hard to be a guy with a computer and a voice to fend off $30,000 from the opposition. And I consider, if I'm on a nonpartisan board, I consider partisan people trying to infiltrate it. I consider that the opposition. I don't know why there's not more teachers and retired teachers out there running for board positions. They have a lot to say when they're there, but then they retire. And I think who better to run a school board than retired teachers? So Toms River, 3 of 63 reporting. Obviously, I just said that. Raymond and Howe are up, but there's a lot of night left. That's about. It's only 1,294 votes. Three write-ins. They're probably for me. Yep, so Anna's on the school board, Christy. Isn't that exciting? I'm looking at the TV, and it looks like Ted Cruz is down from Beto O'Rourke by four percentage points. Bernie Sanders won by 30 points. Former presidential candidate Tim Kaine won. Joe Manchin won in West Virginia. Refreshing the county races right now. Anna Palazzo pulling off the victory, like it. Again, Toms River right now is showing 3 of 63 reporting with only 1,294. I don't know if Rob, if you're watching, or anybody else is watching that knows what's going on more than I do, please chime in and type something so I know. It's sad to say, but I mean, if Raymond gets reelected tonight, his troubles aren't over. Not from me, not from the state ethics commission, and not from people that know him and know how he operates. It's just not. I mean, I try to get it out there. I can't make the district do things, or the voting districts do things, but we shall see. I was reading today. My own Ocean County is obviously Republican County, but South Toms River, Anna won tonight. Anna's not really a partisan person, which is good, but it's a predominantly Democrat town. It's the most Democrat town in Ocean County, so that's a good job, Anna. And also, I feel bad now. I like Gigi. Sucks. That's politics. Beechwood, where I live. I was surprised to find out. I was reading the Asbury Park Press yesterday. Beechwood is 51% independents, unaffiliated or independents in Beechwood. So, which I am, and which a couple years ago, my wife and daughter yelled at me. I said, "You guys need to register Republican. We're all Republican." Blah blah blah. And after all the club nonsense that goes on around here and the way they manipulate people and make them do things unethically, we all went independent. So we're 3 more independents in Beechwood, and we're going to continue to think independently. But 51% independent in Beechwood, only 27% Republican, I think 23 Democrat. So Beechwood, I can't believe that nobody ran against Bill Carnes and Bev Clayton. Not that I have any real issue with Bill Carnes, but I really think that it's sad. I mean, civics needs to come back into the schools, and I've been posting that on my Team Leonard page. Civics is lost. I mean, think about it. We have a class called The History of Rock and Roll Music in high school. What the hell is that going to do for you? That's not even, I guess it's under arts, but yeah, I mean, come on. You can find that out on a webpage in 6 seconds. Why don't we put, common decency as a class or something, and how to make eye contact and talk to people and write a resume, or, the history of rock and roll music. Okay. So anyway, let's look at the results, see if there's any change. By the way, my show's not scripted if you haven't noticed, totally unprepared. Sad to say it, but it's looking good for Chris Raymond and Jennifer Howe right now. 5 of 63 reporting. They got like 22% of the vote. Erica, what's that? Is that English? I can't. Yeah, 5 now. I get it. Is Joe still on there? Joe Cirillo, you still here? Well, anyway, let me give a plug for Joe Cirillo. My buddy Joe, he works at Pine Belt Nissan and Route 37 at Toms River. If you need a new vehicle and you want to, you're looking at Nissan, go on in there. Don't talk to the salesman; they're all shady. You know that. Go directly for Joe Cirillo, and you're going to ask him and tell you Team Leonard sent you down there to get a new Nissan. Oh, you're right. He's at work. How's he at work at 8:30 at night? Well, anyway, Joe, I see you watching. Thanks, buddy. Go down to Nissan and see Joe Cirillo. Say you want a new, you want a Maxima, or probably the Pathfinder is ugly now, but you definitely want what's the one that I had? What's the big one?
What?
What's the big truck that I had?
The big one?
Yeah, Armada. You want an Armada? Well, the results are still coming in. Yeah. Jesus. All right, this is what I like to see. So now there's 9 of 63 reporting in Toms River. Jennifer Howe's leading the way with 903. Good for her. Chris Raymond's 801 and Joe Nardini 774. So we're looking at about a 25-point difference between Nardini and Raymond. You know what I like? There's people I've never spoken to that are tuning in and watching this. Thanks for tuning in. Probably never talk to me again after this, probably. Any questions about the Toms River Board of Education while we're on the subject? So one thing I've been working on with the administration to discussing is snow days for the district. Some states, some districts have tried to do a pilot for snow days. So right now we have the break that's going on this week. We have the one in April, and then we usually have obviously Christmas break. So we're not graduating now till like the 20 something of June. So in snow days, really, we put them into the schedule to kind of give a buffer, but that really doesn't help anymore for some reason. There's a lot of snow days and we're always going later than we should. I think we're graduating now, maybe a week or 10 days after when I did in 94. But I will say that I'm talking to administration, Dr. Mark Natanagar, assistant superintendent, seemed very interested in looking into the fact that if it snows, I'm saying if you can get your master's degree or graduate degree in something advanced online, then during a snow day, these kids should be able to log into something and complete work that counts as a school day. I don't know why we're not doing that yet. I mean, it's 2018. So I would like to have like three of those days incorporated into the calendar as well. So if there's a snow day that the teachers or whoever, they put in ahead of time, prepare for that, and they put the lesson plans in for the entire school day for these kids. They go in, they do it, and they don't lose a day, and we don't lose a day as a district. I mean, if you can get I don't know what, obviously not brain surgery, but if you can get some kind of advanced degree on online, you should be able to get, do this snow day online deal. All right, let's see. It just refreshed. Joe Nardini has pulled ahead of Chris Raymond by about 30 with 14 of 63. This is, I don't know if, I guess people are watching, so they're interested in this stuff. But to me and the people that are into politics, this is like Super Bowl for us. It's kind of geeky, I guess. But I mean, I like it because it's important. Whoever wins the Super Bowl, next day, nobody gives a shit. Here, it's like, this is great. I mean, these are people that are putting themselves out there to be hammered with criticism, like I have been. And, and they have families and they have kids and they have jobs, and they're doing this for volunteer to try to help and make a difference. Normally, I wouldn't have done what I did with people like I did with Chris Raymond, but this guy's bad news, and people have to know that. They have to know. I tried to stay away from Jennifer Howe for the most part. That's his running mate. It's not personal between me and her, with me anyway. But the fact that she chose him as his running mate, or however that happened, that kind of bothered me, and because she was told about him. But she's pulling away as the clear front runner here with 20.67% of the vote. So I mean, I hope she's a game changer and adds a lot of value to the district. I mean, I've heard her speak at the mic, and it's up in the air with me, but I'm not gonna bash her. I mean, I think apparently her husband's in the Air Force, and she's a great mother, and I'm sorry that she chose to run with him. Let me look at some questions here. What do we got? Agreed. Gannon, what's up, buddy? Nicole, were you listening when I said after this year, I'm going to be, I'm like persona non grata in any club, Republican club, Democrat club in the county. So I'm going to need support of my friends to really help me raise money for my campaign next year, because I'm not looking to get any of that partisan money, nor do I want it. I just have a hard time. I think more veterans need to run for public office for many reasons. The leadership schools, the experience, the technical and tactical proficiency with things, the ability to speak from a position of authority and to know what you're talking about makes a difference. I mean, a lot of you've come to board meetings, and nothing against my colleagues. I like to engage and discuss things. Like, there's a lot of silence up there, and I don't know why, but everybody has their own style. But I mean, I'm looking to really make a difference. And a lot of people thought I was, because I'm so vocal on social media about this election, people thought I was running. They're like, "Where's your name on the ballot?" I'm like, "Oh, it's next year." So I'm really proud of Joe Nardini and Danielle Lee Bright, Rob Bonafrietti, and Erica Cirillo tonight. They ran clean campaigns, like I said, and I'm going to support them in the future. Hopefully they continue to support me in the future, because after tonight, it's not over. Our kids are still going to be there. Our teachers are still going to be there. We're still going to have taxes are always going to go up. They're never going to go down. They may go down a third of a percentage point for part of the year, but we really need to make a difference for our children's future. and we had a choice between me. Some people thought I was being bullying towards Chris Raymond by exposing his lies and his manipulations and his ethics violations that are at the State Ethics Committee right now. Chris Raymond's, and I heard this on the radio on Sunday morning on WOBM, Chris Raymond's ethics, the board had sent forward a complaint against Chris Raymond, and that complaint had many, many, many ethics charges against him. I can't talk about the details of those, because they're confidential until it's released. I personally know a lot of things that I can't talk about with that, because it wasn't between the board and him and me. It was between me and Chris Raymond. So I talk about those things quite often. But I do know that it was reported on the radio on Sunday morning that of all the ethics charges that the State Ethics Commission was looking at on that docket for when they met, everything was dismissed. Every other case was dismissed except for Chris Raymond's complaint, where they found probable cause review. So they found probable cause. Let's go into the next level. We're going to find out which of the complaints will hold water and which don't. And it's going to come back, and I'm going to be the first to let you know. I guarantee it, because we have none of us are perfect. I am far from perfect. But what I don't do is purposely try to damage people's careers and their lives and I don't want to get too far into it, but trust me, we'll talk about this in another time, because I do have a lot of information about him that I want to share, and hopefully he does not win tonight. So I'm going to continue. So right now, let me, all right, is everybody still awake out there? 'Cause I know how it gets. Right now, Ron DeSantis is beating Andrew Gillum in Florida 50-48. That's a very close race. I know that was one that the national polls are watching, but that might be a win for DeSantis, because it looks like 93% of the polls are reporting. You're right, Missy. He shouldn't have been able to run. But that's not how it works. Everybody has due process. And again, as much as I don't like him, he's entitled to due process like anybody else. Even though I feel he cost other people their due process rights by, what I consider leaking information to people that shouldn't have had it. He cost the due process rights of an employee, a couple employees. And again, Google his name, Google ethics with Chris Raymond. You'll see what I'm talking about. But he shouldn't have been able to run. But that's not how it is. Everybody's entitled to due process. Now, if that stuff had come out before the election, it might be a different story, because the state takes a long time in doing anything. Here we are. Here we are at the 1 yard line, and he still can pull it off with all these ethics charges. It's ridiculous. Everybody's entitled to due process, whether you like him or not. Superintendent, I don't care if you hate him. He's entitled to due process. I don't care if you hate him. His contract said he was going to get a bonus if he met goals. He met the goals. He gets the bonus. I don't care if you hate him. Your feelings don't matter to me. Evidence and facts, supported facts, that's what matters. If you don't like that, then try to change the contracts ahead of time. 14-63 reporting. Joe Nardini, 17.98%. Chris Raymond, 17.64%. Jennifer Howe, 20.67%. What else can we talk about here? Will everything be made public as far as who was being investigated by the FBI and IRS, where his campaign funds came from? All right, so I'll tell you. His biggest supporter is the chairman of the Ocean County Republican Committee, or Republican organization, George Gilmore. Google George Gilmore's name. You'll see that he's been indicted, or he owes back taxes to the IRS in the tune of $1 million. He's borrowed $300,000 from somebody who works in the Board of Elections. I mean, the guy's just a corrupt guy, and nobody seems to want to stand up to him, because all these people have skeletons in the closet and they all know each other's dirty laundry. But I got nothing. Listen, I'm a retired veteran. I got nothing to worry about. I got nothing, no stake in the outcome as far as I'm going to gain anything from what I do. I'm not making any money off of this. I'm here to just to be the voice of the people who don't have one. And let me tell you, what will be made public as soon as the State Ethics Commission finishes their investigation, will come back, and then at that point it'll be public record, and you'll be able to be made aware of that. I'll make you aware of that, I guarantee it. But yeah, Gilmore's the one that was being investigated by the IRS and the FBI. And just Google George Gilmore, and that's all you need to know about Chris Raymond. They're like this. Uncle George, he calls him. His campaign funds are all coming. Well, if you look at the Election Law Enforcement Commission website, you put in Chris Raymond's name, you have to file reports of where your money comes from. He hasn't done that until maybe this couple days ago. And now you see that $15,000 check from the Republican. By the way, he's running an independent, nonpartisan candidate. $15,000 check from the Ocean County Republicans, or the Toms River Republicans, right into his account. More money on top of that, up to 25. And now the NGEA, because Chris Raymond goes back to the union and tells them things he shouldn't be telling them. That's why they support him. There's no other reason. They tried to get me on board last year with the unethical stuff that they were up to. I said no. All right. And that's when things started moving forward with his ethics investigation. I don't care if I don't like somebody. Again, if I don't like them, that's personal. Professionally, everybody's entitled to due process. Every employee of this district. I don't care if you just started the last month or you're the superintendent. You're entitled to due process. If you don't like him, that doesn't even play any part of it. You don't try to ruin somebody's life and career because you don't like them. In the scheme of a $500 million district with 16,000 students, a couple thousand teachers, 20-something properties, and all the other stuff we got going on with the state, you're causing problems, Mr. Raymond, by doing what you did. You know it. Everybody knows it. Looking at the update on the races here. Awesome. Joe Nardini pulled ahead of Chris Raymond by 3.5 percentage points. Erica Cirillo, not bad, 14.81. Erica Cirillo is running for the board. She's an excellent candidate for the board. Strong background because of her daughter, Leah. Strong background in special education, special needs populations. Really need that on the board. We don't have anybody, I don't think, on the board that really understands or could advocate as good as she can. I know no matter what happens tonight, she's going to show up tomorrow and be still hard charging as she always has been about advocating on behalf of that community. I look to her as an advisor on special education needs and things that I wasn't aware of. We've worked together to try to get improvements into the district. She's brought a lot of things to me, and I brought it to the board, and it's been getting done. I guess Mr. Ricotta and her have been doing an excellent job working together. Nothing but good things about Mr. Ricotta I've been hearing. So we'll continue that mission no matter what happens tonight, Erica. I hate this. 22 of 63 reporting. Good job, Erica. Good job, Joe. Thanks. Thanks for putting yourselves out there. A lot of people they like to talk a lot of smack on Facebook, but nobody wants to put themselves out there and actually sign their name and run for office. See, this is the time I need like a commercial sponsor. I can take a break and I can hit you play the commercial, or somebody can read the news to you or something. I don't know. All right, let me plug the PTOs real quick. We have a lot of PTOs in this district that are in need of everybody's help, financial help they sell everything, from candy to mums to whatever. We need to support these PTOs. They do a lot. And again, they're not paid, they're volunteers, and they do a lot for the kids. And I brought it up to Mr. Healy recently. I think we were in Atlantic City for the school boards convention, and it just came into my head. Well, we have these board meetings, and the attendance is pretty dismal. So, we ways to get people there and to make it worthwhile. I thought maybe we should have the PTOs come into the board meetings at North. We'll find a rotation, a way to do it. They come in, they sit out there in the hallway with a table, they promote their PTO. They give out literature information about what's going on with their PTO in their schools and whatnot. And what we can do is we can run a 50-50. So you come in, you go to the PTO, we'll get the raffle license, whoever has it. We'll run the 50-50. 50% goes to the PTO and 50% goes to the person, whoever wins it. Maybe encourage people to come to the meetings. I don't know. I'm thinking outside here. New Jersey legalized gambling. It's not really that bad of an idea. But you know what happens with the 50-50 sometimes, the person who wins, they give it back to the organization. So a lot of veterans organizations do that. You don't want to be the guy who takes the money. So you're guilted into giving that other 50% back to the PTO. I like it. So that's just one idea we have for the PTOs to try to increase their visibility, get them some money, and get some people to the board meetings. Nothing in stone yet. I brought it up to the administration. We'll see what happens with that. I do want to run a scholarship, a Team Leonard scholarship. I don't want to call it Team Leonard, though. I got to figure out another name for it. Any changes in the results? Any other questions? Oh yeah, I have to mention how great Fountains of Hope and Inspire are for the district. If you have special needs family members or students, or you're interested in finding out more about special needs population within the district, Inspire and Fountains of Hope are always looking for people to get involved with their organizations. Erica, she's on right now. She's typing, so if you can, obviously you can see it. So let them know when the next meeting is. I know you put out it was like 4 a year or something. I saw it. "22 of 63 still reporting. Nardini has 19.47. Raymond has 16.62. I'll tell you, and I'll tell you what happened today. So I said it the other video that I made earlier. I was talking to somebody, and I said that they're one of these local loons that are party only, and they said that I said that. They said that they should vote. I was talking about the Board of Education thing on Facebook, and they said that Republican down the line or something like that. And I said to them, Board of Education is supposed to be nonpartisan. It's not partisan. It's not Democrat, Republican. Anyway, the conversation escalated from there, and they told me that I'm a mental midget and that I'm a disgrace to the uniform because I said that it should be nonpartisan and not Republican. So that's the kind of people you're dealing with. And when you're that set on your politics and your partisan beliefs, what kind of hope is there for compromise, and everybody working towards the middle? And that's really what Team Leonard's about. That's why I'm an independent now, is because I want people to move towards the middle, because it's getting way too polarized. And it's just, I can't do it alone. And I'm concentrating on Toms River and Ocean County, and I'm going to need everybody here's help and support in one way or the other. And I'll give you an example. I post a lot of things, and I get a lot. I say share, and they click like. Well, that's not doing anything. I know you like it. You looked at it. We need to start sharing more. Sharing is caring. If everybody was as bored and crazy with social media trying to get people elected as me, we can make things happen. All right, so 27 of 63 reporting for the Toms River Board of Education. Raymond is now down to 1662. Nardini is 1947%. Roughly, Nardini is about 412 votes over Raymond right now. But that's 27 of 63. Some districts are vote by district sometimes. So you might get 100 votes more in one district than another. So anything could happen. Again, don't be scared of the flag behind me, the Team Leonard symbol. Punisher's black and white. This is Team Leonard, the American flag, Punisher skull. But don't be scared of it. I know it looks like an ISIS video, like somebody's going to get their head chopped off any minute. That's not going to happen, I promise you. As much as I don't like Chris Raymond, that would never happen here. Of course, Menendez won. And here we go. Good. Thanks, Erica. That's why I need people to comment. We know about Menendez, corrupt, indicted, going down to the Dominican Republic, hooking up with teenagers. Guy wins over a millionaire business leader who who's outstanding. Obviously, I know him, Bob Eugen, a Marine. We just voted for next to Chris Raymond, the second most corrupt guy in the state, Bob Menendez, over a Marine who's a leader because of party. It's not because of qualification. It's definitely not because of qualification. Because of party, right down the line. It makes me sick. Everybody wants change, but nobody wants to do anything for that change. You see me, I put myself out there all the time. People, I get attacked, but I fight back. A lot of politicians, they just they don't say anything. They don't want to go. They're scared they're not going to get reelected. If you don't like me, don't reelect me. I'm not going to change myself. When you don't worry about your reelection, you'd be amazed how much you can accomplish. Eugen shouldn't concede. He should never concede. He's the better candidate. There you go, Missy. The PTO awards to students. Yeah, it gets kids involved. It gets other parents involved. You meet people, you network, you connect. You know who to call if there's an issue when you meet the administration and some teachers and things like that. So, there's no benefit. There's no not having a benefit for PTOs to come to a board meeting, set up a table, and do that, what I just said. I think it'd be a good idea for all involved. I'm all about bringing people together, but trust me, I'm not going to let people run their mouths rampant on Facebook about misinformation and lies and promoting people like Chris Raymond. It's just because the union told them to. Oh, the union endorsed Chris Raymond. We have to vote for Chris Raymond. Okay, the union endorsed me. Now you hate me because I don't like Chris Raymond. Think about it. I always separate the teachers from their political wing. That's the way I describe it. Best way to do it. What's going on, Tom's? Everybody's slow. These slow reporting times. Come on. I always criticize the state for screwing our district. Our district is probably the most fiscally per pupil cost. We have the second lowest per pupil cost in the state. We do so many things outstanding financial, and then they take our money away, our aid money. So it's like you're getting punished for doing the right thing. And that's what I feel that the Toms River voters, the Toms River citizens will happen tonight. If Chris Raymond gets reelected tonight, he's going to be rewarded for doing the wrong thing. And that's not a good message to send to our kids. And for the teachers that support him, all right, I'll tell you, you're supposed to be teaching our kids that honesty is the best policy, right? Among other things. Honesty is the best policy. If you're supporting Chris Raymond, you're a hypocrite. The information's out there for everybody to see. I don't care if you like the guy. You can like him and he cannot be on the board. But he's not the best person to have on that board because he gets along with no one. He causes nothing but problems. And he's a liar. I read earlier in the first couple of minutes of this podcast or this video, I read his list of lies. And I'll continue to read it, Yep, no change on the Toms River. What else we got out there? Somebody ask a question. It could be about anything. The Yankees, Walking Dead. I don't know if you're a Walking Dead fan out there, but the other night was amazing. So I was doing this podcast on YouTube 2 nights ago, and the reason I did that was because on YouTube I can share the link on Twitter, LinkedIn, email it to you, and everybody can click on the same link and go to the same video feed on YouTube. But it's going to take a while to get everybody hooked up on YouTube and get that page going. So this is too close. This was a near target, as we say in the military, this election. So I needed to get my Facebook friends watching it without all the hassle of trying to figure out how to do stuff on YouTube. If you got a Twitter, Go find me on Twitter. It's DPL08722, DPL08722 on Twitter. Instagram, it's Team Leonard NJ. But tonight so far, I mean, I wish I can have everybody, except for Raymond, on the Board of Education. Why do we only have 9? Let's get everybody that wants to be on the Board of Education. We'll sit in a room together. You have to be in it to win it. You have to go to meetings and you have to come up to the microphone and speak your mind if you want change. Speaking on social media and these long feeds under issues, it's never going to change anything. It's good. It gets you, gets it out of your system maybe, but it causes a lot of disinformation and misinformation as well. If you want an honest answer, you come to a board meeting, you come up to the microphone, it's recorded. You ask the question to the administration, they'll give you an answer. And if they don't, they'll get back to you, and it's on the record. Name another politician in Ocean County or in Toms River that's an elected official like me who's willing to put it all out there, answer the hard questions, disagree with you, filming a video, talking on social media. Everybody's hot. It's very quiet out there. I guess nobody wants to get sued, but I'm smart enough to know what to say, what not to say. But when I'm on social media, I'm Dan Leonard. I'm not on the dais at the board, so this is my personal social media. I told you, it's not affiliated with the Toms River Regional School District. Yeah, I'll run for governor, Tracy, when I get like $10 billion to fight the opposition. I mean, honestly, Phil Murphy bought his seat. Corzine bought his seat. Trump pretty much bought his seat. Are they the best and the brightest? Where are all the real, smart, astute citizens out there, wanting to run in and put themselves on a line to make a difference? $37 of 63 in Toms River. Joe Nardini has about 600 more votes than Chris Raymond. Hopefully that's a good sign. You know what? I'll be honest with you. All the candidates, they say may the best man win. That's Joe Nardini. No doubt. Not a bad bone in that man's body. Always looking to make peace with people. Unlike me. Just kidding. I'm just an angry American. Tracy, you think Beechwood loves me? Have you read Beechwood Neighborhood Discussion and Watch? Everybody likes you. If you're a veteran, they love you until you disagree with them. Then you're some kind of, they don't care anymore about the veteran thing. I don't want to be mayor of Beechwood. What I really want to do is make a difference on the big picture, on the large scale. Speak on behalf of things where people are going to be interested in, and that's why I like the district. I mean, we have so much going on and so much promise in this district. And Retaco, people that fires me up when people say, "Oh, things were better when Retaco was here." No, they weren't. That guy didn't do anything for buildings and grounds or maintenance of the district for 15 years before he went to prison. It was just all smoke and mirrors, and that's what people like. They like smoke and mirrors. They don't want to hear the honest truth, the blunt, transparent reality of life. It's kind of sad. You're telling kids that a guy who's in federal prison, things were better when the guy in federal prison was here. Who are you fooling? The only thing that would make my life better right now is if him and Gilmore were in the same cell. But Gilmore's over at the Days Hotel, having everybody kiss his ass. Ugh. Party politics. Checking the latest results. Anna still won in South Toms River. No change in Tom's River. So what else? Like I said, next year, if I run for re-election, I'm going to need support because I pretty much put the partisan political clubs on notice that not going to let them influence anything that has to do with the district, professional service contracts. If I have a feeling that any of that stuff's going on, you're going to be made aware of it. All right. There's no favorites. Nobody's going to get a contract unless it's a fair and equitable system and process, open, competitive, at least while I'm there. And I think that was a big thing when I came on the board. I think some people saw that the way I am and the way I operate, and they didn't want to put up with it. So I don't think that a couple of them stayed around. Oh boy. Checking the latest and greatest. Who else is out there? Anybody got any questions? Ocean County politics, Tom's River, Board of Education. Dan Leonard, the independent, free-thinking American that's not taking any party platforms and letting them come into our nonpartisan entity of a district. We need to have that stuff taken way off the board so our administration all the way down can do what they need to do to operate the most effective and efficient district in the state. Michelle, you should have ran for the board. What are you doing?
I'm helping people with happiness.
Oh,
Health.
not you, another Michelle.
Oh.
37 to 63 still. Jennifer House in the lead with 4,035, followed by Jen Ordini with 3,979. Looks like Chris Raymond and Danielle Liebright are tied for third pretty much. And Mr. Roniferetti and Mr. Rello are down. But anything's possible. Don't lose hope yet.